seek, then you shall find. You want a revolution, but you need a revelation. Before the move comes the meditation.
You feel me? I hope you do.
Rob Van Dam! Rob Van Dam! Rob Van Dam!
I'm Rob Van Dam. The whole show.
From Battle Creek, Michigan, weighing 230 pounds,
Rob Van Dam. Hey, I can't hear you, Dom. I can't hear you. What are you saying?
Oh,
are you talking?
there you go.
Oh,
I was
okay.
muted. I muted myself, but not no more. Because you know what? It's trash night, and we're here with Mr. Rob Van Dam. He already said it.
Get the
T-Bar!
trash.
Get the trash. I'm glad my windows are open, so my neighbors can hear me.
What was that? Was that Kermit the Frog telling Devon to
Get the trash.
All right. Dude. Why are there so many songs about rainbows?
I don't know. There's a rainbow connection.
Sing it, dude.
Why
You gotta
are
keep
there
up
so
that kind of
many songs about rainbows? I don't know. That's great.
Was it Fozzie the Bear? Who was that first?
Fozzie Bear, Gonzo.
I don't even know what Fozzie sounded like. Is that what you were doing at first?
Waka waka.
You were.
Waka waka. Kermit. Kermit.
Get the trash.
Get the trash.
All right, dude. Yeah, I'm working on my drop-in entrance. You know,
I think it was pretty good.
I'm gonna build something so I can just drop straight down and
like Sting.
A contraption, something. No, like this guy.
Oh, okay.
Hey, it's been awesome. Did some cool cameos.
Oh,
yeah.
We should advertise your cameos some more, unless you don't want to.
Oh, I don't care.
Okay.
I don't care. That's it. They always try to hit me up with, when they're having every holiday, they try and have a sale, and they always say, statistics show, if you tap your price, you get this many more, or whatever. And I just think, I want more work for less money, because
right, yeah. Why would you?
Kind of set your price on where that line is,
Yeah. With Cameo, you can set your price to anything you want, right? Like what you want
per
video. Yeah. Okay.
Yes. I had a Cameo story, but I can't remember what it is, so I got to think about it. It was about a Cameo that I left for somebody, and now I'm trying to remember what it was that I wanted to share about it. Should have thought about that before I opened my fucking mouth.
Dang it, Rob. Dang it.
Yeah. Wow.
Hey, have you ever gotten weird Cameo requests? Like sometimes people ask them to tell their boss they're quitting their job or something like that.
Yeah, not that exact one, but we roast my friend Dominic, tell him he's a piece of shit and that he hangs out with little kids, and
oh my God.
Everyone at work says he smells bad, and they'll put that in there, and want me to say, shit like that sometimes. Or they try and sneak in a business request. That's a common one too, which is a whole different deal, That's probably about as weird as it gets. Sometimes the names are a little challenging to look at, and that's nothing really comes to mind that's like too out there.
Yeah, too funky. No, I hear stories about like some people get funky ones where like they have them break up with their significant other or something like that.
Yeah. I don't think I've done that. Just the roast, which of course, I don't want to fucking, especially someone I don't even know, fucking spit a bunch of negative energy out at them. But
that's true. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, but whatever. I figure out how to work around it.
Yeah, that's good. We got some good folks here in the chat. We got.
I know what I was gonna say, dude.
Yeah.
I knew it would come to me, even though I hadn't thought about it since like I left. But anyway, last week, I could wait till I could work this in more organically during the show. But as I roll this doobie, it's making me think about this. Just the last week, I left a cameo message for somebody. It was an anniversary of a relationship, but also it was also a long, like, I don't know if it was 13 or 16. It was like 16-year. Maybe it was 6 years. Whatever it was, it was so many years from being sober from a heroin addiction, right? Oh. And so they wanted me, and they were a big fan of mine, and they used marijuana to actually help them get off the heroin, and they wanted me to leave a message, of course, for them, and I just thought it was worth sharing. I'm sure that they won't mind. And I can't remember their names anyway, but I couldn't help but think, like, man, I really like that story right there, because like they try to misinform everybody intentionally, and they've for years labeled cannabis a gateway drug. And this lady said, "You're absolutely right. It's a gateway out." And I like that fucking story. She was on heroin, addicted to it. She used cannabis, a much lower level fucking kind of drug, even though they got it classified together, or did until recently. But anyway, you get where I'm coming from. I like that story. So that weed actually helped her. And I have heard a few stories like that before, that people have used weed to help them get off of something else. You know what I mean? And it's like, the haters will say, well, you're giving up one addiction for another. No, this one is actually one that isn't toxic. So that's a pretty big, significant difference.
Yeah. And then you hear people too, sometimes they go sober, but they go California sober, where they don't.
Yeah. True. Yeah. Okay. You know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right.
So, I know a few people that are California sobers and stuff like that.
Nah. So anyway, I just wanted to share that, and now that I have, I feel closer to each and every one of you.
Aw, see? That's nice. Yeah, we got some familiar faces here in the chat. We got Frankie Turizo. We got Maddie Marijuana. His mom says hi to, by the way. We got Lady Nisa. She's in the house. Good to see you again. Melinda Wilkinson's in the house as well. So shout out to everybody.
Melinda Wilkinson?
Yeah, Melinda Wilkinson. She's a regular that pops on into. I see her.
Okay. That's a very familiar sounding name.
Sounds like we got some new folks too there in the chat too. So if you guys have,
or did I do a cameo for you?
Mm-hmm. Ooh, yeah,
or neither.
Or neither. If you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them. If you want, you can use the super chat. A $5 super chat gets you automatically entered into the raffle tonight, and tonight's raffle is a good one. We got, look at this one, Rob. The grand prize will be a RVD card with him in his Japan singlet.
Ooh.
Splash. Not only that, you will get an RVD IOU, which means if you ever meet RVD in person, you get a photo op and you get an autograph. So,
And
this
this-
card.
Cool. And this outfit is the band action figure. It was recalled after they made it, but didn't really put it out yet. And somehow I've heard stories like only 30 got out of the production office or whatever. But I mean, I find that hard to believe because I've seen I don't know, 10, 12 probably over the last couple of years, including I have one. But they're rare and they're very expensive when you find them because of that recall, because that flag that I'm wearing on the outfit is of course the land of the rising sun, and there's some kind of Korean conflict that caused that flag to be controversial in such a way that Mattel, I guess it was Mattel, pulled that action figure.
It was Mattel. It would have been Mattel. Well, how long ago was this, Rob? Because it might have been Jack.
It seems like 3 years ago, not that long ago.
Okay. So no, it was definitely Mattel. If it was within 13 years, it was definitely Mattel.
And then what they did was they put out another figure with the tiger striped outfit, everyone's favorite, but it's in the exact same box. So at first I didn't think it was legit until I learned what was up. You know what I mean?
Was this one here, Rob? Boom.
Well, that I don't know if it's exactly that head or maybe.
Oh, okay.
That outfit either way, yeah.
Yeah. It's good.
And maybe that is it for good visual. Way to go. That's
Speaking
my
of good
producer.
too,
That's my producer.
we forgot about promote this, the Sabu Big Rubber guy.
That's right.
That's right.
right.
Major collector. You can check it out.
Dom sent me a picture of this, and then and you sent me a link, and I ordered it right away and got mine in like 2 days.
Yeah, it was quick.
Really quick, yeah.
Quick, but he's awesome. You should definitely get it if you're a ECW fan or definitely a Sabu fan, big time.
And where do they gotta go to get?
You got to go to, I think it's majorcollector.com. Let me make sure though. Majorcollector.com. Type it in when needed. I think I am right on that, but we'll double check just to make sure. Shout out to the Major Fig guys. Oh, that is not it. Do not go there. So it's Major
something.
Major something.
Minor.
Major minor. Ursa Major. I don't know what's going on. I'll post it up. But be sure to check it out. We'll figure out the website. But this is awesome. Thank you guys. So check it out. All right. Well, let's see. Do we have a super chat? We have a couple super chats, I think, in here already. Sloth.
Mine is hanging right there on the wall, but you can't really see it.
I see your Sabu section. I do see
the big one. That's the big one.
Yes. Yeah, I think you are pointing right at it, actually.
I think so.
Yeah. Sloth Bernstein.
Anyway. Especially those who are only listening.
Yes. Sloth Bernstein. Hey, you guys. Thanks for the $5.
Hey.
Did you guys ever find out about the PlayStation in Sabu's dock? Was it even his? Thanks. Do you know anything about the PlayStation at Sabu's apartment or place he had?
No, I'm not really sure what he's talking. I mean, just from the question makes me think that maybe in the Sabu documentary that he was looking for a PlayStation, but I sure as hell don't remember that happening.
I think they saw it in his house. Like they saw it in his living room.
What do you mean they saw it? Was it missing?
They saw a PlayStation sitting in his living room, I think, or something when Joe was filming it. And they were curious. I don't know if they were curious that he played it a lot or something like that. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I see. Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I haven't played a video game with Sabu in like years and years. So, but I can't really say for sure if he did when he was by himself or not. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I knew he used to play with you guys, like you would say, in the Winnebago and stuff like that.
It's just as believable either way, like he could have or maybe not. Either way it could have been him. So I don't know.
Sometimes people just get PlayStations too to watch movies and DVDs, stuff like that. I know people use it.
Yeah, he could have also liked playing games. I don't know. Like we both live in Las Vegas, but we didn't get together enough. And I always have been open about how at the end he kept, kind of trying to pressure. Let's get together. We might not have much time together. You don't know when we'll ever see each other again. A lot of shit like that. But he was a man of the streets. I'm not a street guy anymore. I'm a homebody. So it makes it difficult, because I didn't used to be a homebody. So I'd go out all the time. And then the people from the certain bars or wherever you hang out and shit. And he was a regular at the Nerd Bar. And he had a roommate that I don't think I ever met.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like he had I've been over to that house a few times and the roommate wasn't there. I met the roommate's dogs. He's got really big dogs, and Sabu would take the dogs for walks and stuff and would say that the owner didn't do it enough. And I always think about that when I see dogs. Sabu said the dogs live for three things: attention, food, and exercise. And that was Sabu summing up everything the doggies needed. But yeah, I didn't even know the guy, so I didn't really know a lot of the people that Sabu was hanging out with here in Vegas. A lot of the people that I met either afterwards, either here or there, but afterwards, I either didn't know them or kind of avoided them because why not? They could be enablers. So, they probably are. So, why give them my time?
Yeah.
I guess,
Yeah.
I mean, it's not really, I don't know if I would recommend, like people are, innocent until proven guilty. I wouldn't recommend, but some people, that's just the way it goes. Like when Sabu was using or abusing some products, you look at the people he's hanging out with, especially the people that you don't know, and you're like, who are these new people in his life? And what are the chances that they don't have anything to do with the fact that he's taking fentanyl, for instance? You know what I mean? Like just fucking crazy shit. So anyway, I didn't know a lot of Sabu's crowd. A lot of them I met either at the services or during that time, or had just seen them like in passing when I would see Sabu out sometimes. Sabu would bother. If Sabu didn't introduce somebody to me, then I figure, he's not saying, hey, these guys are cool. He's saying, don't even see them. Don't even look at them.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Yeah. No, that makes sense. Yeah, no, sometimes too, if you just look at a person, then not to immediately cast judgment on somebody, but your intuition or instincts kind of get a vibe from somebody, like energy they give off sometimes. It's like you can kind of tell, like a little, don't know about that. Yeah. Maddie with a $2 super chat. He says, "What's green and smells like Miss Piggy? Kermit's finger." My goodness.
Yeah.
Maddie also.
Someone took my ashtray.
Ashtray. Damn it. What can you use? I can riff again. Hey, by the way, okay, so I did find what the website is for Sabu figure. The big rubber guy, go to collectmajor.com. Collectmajor.com. You can get Sabu there. You can get Raven. You can get Tommy Dreamer. So all the extreme ones. And then there's several other ones. But Sabu, this one's awesome. So if you can, pick up this one because you will not be disappointed. It looks really cool. Collectmajor.com. That's where you go to get your Sabu Big Rubber guy. So do it to it, everybody. Do it to it. Oh, don't fall, Sabu. Okay, you good. You good. All right, cool. Maddie says 25 years since the ECW WCW invasion. Spark and a J. Yeah, wow, that's crazy to think. 25 years.
Welcome if you got
Maddie then also adds, I got my Chihuahua paw doggy toy joints like Dad. They got doggy toy joints? That's pretty funny. That's cool.
Yeah, I always have one too. Well, it's a stuffed one. I don't know if it's the same one, but we have a small stuff. I think it's a raw.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know. You can see this huge joint back here against the wall. There's some small one that we play fetch with the doggies too, and they always are coming up with new product, merchandise, functional smoking apparatuses, and we usually get some gift bags, which we will be sure to open up on this show next time.
Ooh, nice. Yes, absolutely. And hey, if you guys haven't yet, be sure to check out RVD420.com. The website's right up above Rob there. So RVD420.com. Is that site all ready and good to go, Rob?
Yeah, I'm getting good at this fucking.
Yeah, you're getting good.
I haven't looked at it. So
it's coming up July 17th. So mark your calendars, July 17th. The new site will launch on July 17th. So
okay. Yeah, they're the first point for the company to get past is this big thing this coming weekend. It's a gift giving suite, and Damn Good CBD will be there. We'll have a booth. We'll have products.
Is it this, Rob? The image you sent me? You want me to pop that up?
Yes, sir. It's in New York.
So there it is.
Power Player Suite. Power Player Suite.
Power Player.
Damn Good CBD.
Yeah, check it out.
Yeah, so these events are they're interesting events. I've been to several of them, not as a product or someone at a booth, but as the invited guests. So what they do is there'll be like a really big room, maybe a couple rooms, depending how big the show is, whatever. And they have all these tables all set up, and people have their products on there, and they invite a bunch of celebrities to come in and to walk through, and it's a gift giving suite. Like they give you this big bag, and someone walks you around, and they just boom, you drop things in your bag at every table, and they want to take a picture of you holding the product, in return for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we've been to several of those in Hollywood. Like at the W was the last one, and there's usually a bar there, so it's a fun event because usually there's some drinks, and sometimes that's the product. Someone has like a peach flavored champagne or whatever, and they're like, "Would you like to try one?" And I'm like, "Fuck yeah," And then this one I'm not going to be at though, but my company will be there. I'll be represented. Don't go planning on meeting RVD in New York City, but if you're there, it's for the ESPYs. It has something to do with that too. Like it's before the award shows is when they have these gift giving suites, and it's cool because you see other celebrities there and shit, and you might really like some of their product and want to put your image on it. You know what I mean? Like that happens quite a bit where I'm like, wow, that is like really cool. And anyway, so after this is when I'm expecting the whole Damn Good CBD and RVD 420 to unfold into everybody's laps and be accessible to dispensaries and all this and shit. But right now it's a really small team. They're all going to be up there in New York City. They've been focusing and planning on this while some of the other stuff has been slowly building. But just like always, I don't want to get too excited if they say, yeah, the AI is going to be replaced with the real images by Tuesday, and then it may or may not be by Tuesday. I don't know, but anyway, that's the dealio. It's all coming after this power play suite.
Power play suite. So for clarification, Rob, you're not going to be there. You're just being presented there. Okay,
that is correct.
All right, so cool. But check it out. Check out the Damn Good CBD booth they got going on right over there, and be in NYC for a good time. Fanatics Fan Fest is.
They are funny events. They're funny events.
Yeah, they seem like it. I kind of had FOMO when I missed it a couple of times. So very
the
cool.
gift giving suite or the SB?
Just the Fanatic Fan Fest that they have on there. Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Brian Gerard, thanks for the $2. Appreciate it. If you have a question, drop it. Let us know, my dude, if you have a question. Somebody has a question here or a comment. The Boston Brat, you're in the raffle for 2 with that $10 donation. Thank you very much. Thank you, Rob, for the idea of hanging money in the bank case. I will be doing that in the house I just bought. If only I could find an RVD signed case to hang up. Hey, never know. Get a chance to meet RVD. And heck, if you win the raffle like you're entered to, if you ever do get a chance to meet RVD, you get a free autograph then. So then you can have him sign your briefcase. How about that sound?
There it is.
Boom. Look at that. That looks sweet, Rob. Man, I love that setup. That's so badass. Here, I'm going to do full screen. Look at that. Rob's pad over there is great, by the way. Good spot.
Always adding to it. Always adding to it. Yeah.
Sprucing it up indeed. Rob, you sent me something else too that I thought was real nifty, and I saw it on actually the Sabu Facebook group.
Yes, let's take a moment in history. This date in history, except for not really this date.
This yes, this other month in history.
This date in history, if it would have happened
in history. Oh, wrong image. Remove.
Nice.
Boom.
Yes.
Here, let me move the frame here too. Get a better look.
Look at that.
Big time.
Yeah, I was gonna say thanks to Paulina Rodriguez, Sabu's sister, for this. This is a flyer from RVD's very first professional show. If you go down there, a little past the middle, you'll see plus kickboxing match.
Boom.
Boom. That was, put a circle around it, my producer. Like,
oh, I don't think I can.
You don't know how to do that, do you?
No, I don't. I can use my mouse and circle it, but I don't even know if you see my cursor on there.
There's a lot to talk about here. And I got a lot of, when I was looking, I just found a whole bunch of old stuff too. And so I'm thinking, let's do this moment in history for a while because check this out. Okay. Underneath plus kickboxing match, you'll see Fred Curry. You'll see the Animal. He was Howard the Animal. He was like a fake George the Animal still, but he was from Canada.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was on a lot of their shows. And Sabu the Elephant Boy.
Oh.
A lot of people don't know that Sabu was originally an elephant boy.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Yeah.
This was when and by the way, also this would be the Sheik's very last big time wrestling show.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So we're in 1990, August 4th. I had met Sheik and Sabu in December of 89, been training. This is the first match after that period. And it's the Sheik's show, and I don't think he's planning on only doing this one at this time. I think he's starting to get back into it. He's thinking, this is where he wants to call me the Polish Prince, and I'm hating it. I'm thinking people aren't going to like that, which, by the way, back in 1990, it was being Polish was heat.
That's true. It was.
Yeah.
People might not know that, but that's true. Like,
you don't realize that nowadays, you young whippersnappers, but there was a million Polish jokes back then. How many Polacks does it take to screw in a light bulb? How many Polacks, this and that? And it was something to do with World War II. And, it has died off since then. But when I was a kid, it was heat being Polish. And I didn't think the people were going to like that. I wanted to be known for my dimples and good looks, and I thought that's where I should be, as just a good-looking baby face. And Sheik was like, "Do you know how much money I made with Igor?" And I'm like, "No, but I don't think I'm him. He sounds like a monster." Igor, I think it was Igor. Yeah. So, but anyway, also he came up with this idea for Sabu the Elephant Boy. And Sabu hated it at first.
I bet he did.
I might have, don't know, but I'm going to try to find a flyer, an 8x10 of Sabu the Elephant Boy that Sheik made back then. And I mean, this was pre everything, you know what I mean? No Photoshop, shit like that. So it looked like a first grader cut around a picture of Sabu. It was so choppy and stuff. And then it was glued on, I don't remember what the background was, if it was plain or what, but then there was an elephant drawn in with a Sharpie, just the side profile of the head, and that was behind Sabu, and Sabu was like hating it, but we're like, what are we gonna do? We hate it. Eventually, and not very long into it, Sabu dropped the Elephant Boy and just became Sabu and kept Sabu. Prior to that, he wasn't Sabu. But anyway, so we got Abdullah the Butcher. He was in my very first show. Him and the Sheik were in a cage match. And that was a huge thing. We knew who Abdullah the Butcher was, even though he wasn't in WWF a lot, if at all. And that's what we grew up on. But we were very familiar with him from at least the magazines and stuff. This is where in the back. Oh, by the way, this is at the Toledo Speedway. It's supposed to be outside this show, but it got rained on. So what they did was they found a place indoors and they moved the ring inside, and we had the show inside. That was unexpected. Somebody on Paulina on her Facebook page said that would have been their first match, but they thought the show got rained out and they turned around and came back, working for Malcolm Monroe, who was one of the promoters up there. And anyway, we're sitting out back because the rain had stopped. It's actually kind of nice out. We're all sitting in wooden chairs, and Abdullah the Butcher is talking to me while he's sitting in a chair about martial arts. And while he's talking to me, he reached over and his chair collapsed. It sold it like, and he fell down on his ass. And he got right up, and he didn't laugh. He didn't even smile. Like, he got his ass up and got another chair and sat down. And me and Dango thought that was the funniest thing that we'd ever seen. And we were trying so hard not to be disrespectful, but it was hilarious that he was so big and fat that the chair just, you know. Man, I wonder if he knows that he was at my very first show. I understand he hasn't been doing well lately. I don't know if you've seen some of the social media posts about him.
I have. They had a GoFundMe up for him, and I helped, like, kind of promote it a little bit. I got to re-promote it again, I think. I don't know if it's still up. I'll have to check. If it is, I'll be sure to put it in the episode description and share the link now too. But I'll double check.
That would mean if you think about it, Sheik's gone, Sabu's gone, Dango's gone. Anyway,
Rocky Johnson.
Yeah, I don't think he was there though. Really,
it says it on there.
I know, and but
okay.
But I think instead it was Mickey. There was an Irish dude, Mickey. Oh God, what was his name? Not Donovan. Mickey. This is going back, so it's hard to Irish Mickey Doyle, maybe.
Let me type that in.
Yeah. But anyway, what I was going to say was I never realized this till this moment, but it seems like out of everybody that's still alive in the wrestling business, it seems that Abdullah the Butcher has been there the longest since he was there literally on day one.
Wow. Yeah, that's true.
So interesting. We did a commercial for this at a local TV station. And it was something Sheik told us to dress nice for and this and that, you know. And there was a announcer that was trying to read the dialogue that's going to go, I guess, over the whole commercial, the audio track. And we were waiting for him to get done so we could do our part. And he kept fucking up. He kept fucking up on saying Ninja Midget Turtles in a Cage. And he kept fucking up on that. And after a while, like, me and Dango were laughing. And then after a while, it wasn't funny because we were like, I can't remember why, but we wanted to get our part done. And I mean, besides being excited because we've never done a commercial before, you know, but it seems like for some reason we were getting short on time. Maybe the station was closing. I can't remember. But he kept going. Midget Ninja Turtle. Oh, 4, 3, 2. Ninja Midget Turtles in a. Oh, man, that one was good. No, but he kept saying, you know, Ninja, Nidget, and Nidget, Minja. It was, he kept, every time he'd try and say it, he'd say, Ninja and Myrtles in the. 3, 2, 1, and he'd go through the whole thing. Big time wrestling at the Toledo Speedway, blah 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 blah, and Ninja, Midget, and Turtles in a Cage. Okay, so good memories of that. We thought that was fucking hilarious. Samson, you'll see down there. That's my friend that actually introduced me to the Sheik.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's the big 315-pound power lifter that came through when I was bagging groceries at Main Street Market, and said, you know, that he was training with Sheik. And I was like, dude, I wish I had your size. I'm going to be a wrestler, and I'd make a lot of money if I had the size, you know. It's all I don't got going for me, man. I'm badass. And anyway, yeah, he brought me to the Sheik for my tryout, and he was there for, you know, around for a while.
Sorry, Rob, was he also Judge Dredd or whatever?
No, two different dudes.
Two different. Okay.
Yeah, and a lot of times they both had to wrestle each other because they were both giants.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. so basically the whole class was at the most me, Dango, Sabu, Samson, and Judge Dredd. Like that was all that could ever be like the core. And we were hardly ever all there on the same day working out, but sometimes it would happen, and that it never got bigger than that little family. You know, there was some other guys like Malcolm Monroe would send a guy or two once in a while. Joe Bruce from ICP might come in and work out once or twice. This dude JoJo, whoever, they were welcome to, but they said that we trained a lot stiffer and we were a lot rougher and different. That was the Sheik. That was the way, that he trained us and stuff. But I don't think, like I said, that Rocky Johnson was there. Flying Fred Curry, I think he was there. Sheik was always talking about Fred Curry and his dad, Bull Curry, and talking about those names. And they were in some of the old body press magazines that Sheik gave me as well, that I'll find. And we'll have a fucking another moment in history because this is fun, fucking,
yeah, this is good stuff.
So this was a way to get me and Dango into the ring, but to mitigate our greenness with exposing the business was something back then that was not allowed. And so anyway, kickboxing match, me and Dango, and we went at it for a little while, a couple rounds, kicking at each other, showing off, throwing jumping, spinning kicks and, splits and shit that would never work in a real kickboxing match or fight. And then eventually Dango gets mad, tears his gloves off and comes after me, boom, 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 and my gloves come off, and then it's like a big pull apart. And so for us, that was like a safe way to get us into wrestling without giving us a full-blown 10-minute, 15-minute match out there, because it was our first time, and that's so just an example of, it fit us and our character and everything, but also, the number one rule back then was still you don't expose the business. That was the number one rule above safety, above fucking making any other decisions, was you do not fucking expose anything. And that could just mean having someone in a headlock and having too much space between your chest and them, it could mean something, a word's getting out when you're talking. It could mean having a friend in the dressing room. It just different times. I came in towards the end of an era. Sheik was definitely old school as you get. He fucking was there in the 50s, making a name for himself and stuff. You can see $15 ringside, grandstands $10. I remember when I went to my first WWE shows, it was $11 on the floor and $9 in the stands.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a deal, though.
Yeah. So not sure I remember Alligator Man, American Patriots. I do remember there was a girls' match. I remember the variety of the whole show. Like, okay, there's a women's match, and then I don't think I knew, or maybe I knew one of the wrestlers. Yeah, I'm not really sure though who it was right now. I think I knew one of them, so that means it could have been like a Winnie Richter, Rockin' Robin, someone like that, maybe. Against someone that I didn't know. But I remember the variety. We got Ninja Turtles, and we got the women, and we got the kickboxing show, and the cage matches. And so I understood, from Sheik's promotional perspective, what he was doing. Having a whole fucking vaudeville show.
Right. Total variety.
So that was really cool. Yeah, there's a lot of variety. The Samoans. Not sure. Iron Claw, same thing. Ken Patera was there. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So fuck him too.
All the best to him. I think he took a bad fall just recently. And so I think he's been hospitalized. So the best to Ken Patera right now too.
Yeah. Best wishes. I talked to him. It seems like it could have been 10 years ago, maybe 8 years ago, 6, 8, 10 years ago. It's all the same. But I was at a convention and I saw him and I, like sometimes at those things you're staying at the hotel where the venue is, but also all the fans are staying there. So when you're eating breakfast and shit, you're sitting at tables like right there with all the fans that are staring at you, taking pictures, wanting to talk to you and whatever. But it was one of those situations. If there's a table open, you take it. But I ended up sitting by him and not recognizing him, but I watched him growing up. I remember him putting his legs on the bumper of the van when his back was against the wall and the tires are spinning out because he's the world's strongest man, right? And he's pushing back. I remember the angle they did with Bobby Heenan and turning his back on him and him going to jail over allegedly throwing a rock through I don't know if there's a McDonald's window. Yeah. So I'm just saying, like I remembered him, but when I saw him, it had been quite some time. He looked way different. And I think maybe I introduced myself to him and he said Kempatera. And I was like, you're Kempatera? And then he was like, before your time or something. I'm paraphrasing, but I was like, no. I know I didn't know that you were Kemp, but D totally. And, switch the subject right away to just put him over so it's not awkward because I was a fan of his. But so now I guess I will put him along with Abdullah the Butcher as being the guys that are alive in the business that have been there since day one.
Yeah, how about that, man? So Rob, this was your first official pro wrestling show you were on.
Yep. And Sheik knocked $70 off of what I owed him for training me for this very match.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So there you go. How about that? Good old kickboxing match.
He didn't have to do that. And, pretty soon I'd be in Tampa making $35 a week.
Right. Yeah.
That was a good payday.
Yeah. Man, I bet. So Toledo Speedway, though, this was in Michigan, right? Even though.
No, it was in Toledo, Ohio. Was
it? Okay.
Yeah, Detroit and Toledo and even Windsor, Ontario. Canada, they're all very close to each other.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Yeah, I guess it is. I always, because my brother Marcus, he has to go to Detroit here in a couple of weeks. And I was like, how far is the trip? And I Googled it up. It was only a 4-hour drive. It's not that far. So I can only imagine how quick it is from Toledo to there, too.
It used to be 6 hours from Battle Creek to go to Pittsburgh to Squirrel Hill every time we'd visit my grandparents.
Yeah, Squirrel Hill. Heck yeah, I was just there last week. Squirrel Hill.
We had this little Horizon. I don't know if you know what a Horizon is, but it's a tiny little box car, and we'd have like a family of 5 and our dogs and luggage and make a 6-hour trip somehow.
Wow. Yeah, it's a little bit of a hike. It can be a little bit of a hike for sure, especially if you got a family going. That adds to it. All right, we got some more super chats here in the house. Oh, real quick, Rob, I did want to share something with you. Let me pull it up real quick. Here it is. Rob, you were right. It was Irish Mickey Doyle. Is that him?
I think so. Yep. Big time wrestling, like it says right behind. So, maybe he took Rocky Johnson's place. It is possible that Rocky Johnson was there, but I don't think so. And that would be Rocky's dad, if he was. But I met Rocky in when I was in Tampa in '91. The dad, Rocky Johnson, Rod Slinker, introduced me to him when I first went down there. And, he didn't say nothing about like, oh, yeah, I remember you in Toledo. Not that I'm saying I stood out. It's something anyone should remember on my first match. I doubt it. But I don't think he was there. But Mickey Doyle was. And I'm not sure who he worked, though.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing if I could remember actually who he worked too. But
what a fascinating card, though, and what a way to start things off. So wild too that was Sheik's last show he promoted. Man, crazy.
Yep, and I was on it. Yeah, I'm gonna pull out some other cards and shit like that to do. That was fun.
Yeah, that's really cool. We should definitely make that a thing to do on here for sure. Maddie with another $2. Has RVD got any TNA input since the Dark Side of the Ring episode? Did you happen to catch that, the first episode of Dark Side of the Ring?
I did not catch it, so I don't have any. I don't know what I missed or what input to add to what you saw. I understand is it a 3-parter?
It's a 3-parter, and I think they aired the first 2 hours of it for the debut episode. And I guess they cover, Jeff Jarrett and the beginning of TNA, and then Dixie Carter coming in, and some controversy that goes on around that, I guess. And so that was like the first 2 hours. I haven't checked it out. I know the first full hour is available for free on YouTube if you check it out on Vice, everybody. So you can type in Vice and Dark Side of the Ring. I'm sure it'll pop right up for you. But I haven't watched it yet. I got to check it out.
I need a filter that looks like this with the smoke.
You already got it. It's built in.
That's true. Yeah. It might be a long time, maybe until I get to watch that. I don't know. We'll see. But we haven't been watching TV.
Okay, nice. That's all right.
Since the babies. Since the babies, I still watch a lot of YouTube. Maybe too much, but we watch it so little, non-existent. We actually called and canceled DirecTV.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, just said, and they said, "Is there anything we can do to change your mind?" And Katie was like, "No, we had babies and we don't watch." And they said something like, "Well, thank you for being a customer for 26 years." That's how long I've been with those motherfuckers, and it was just reached a point where I was like, and already it was like I have so many bills that I pay that I don't use, and they're mostly about sports, which I don't don't spend any time on that. So I was already, thinking like I was gonna have to adjust that, but now we have like the Fire Stick, we have the Apple TV, so we can go to the apps and watch something, but it's really not part of our everyday. I watch shit in the gym though. Yeah, I was watching Ray Donovan. I got through 7 seasons and the movie, and then seems like I watched something in between, but what I just finished yesterday was The Boys. You ever watch that?
Oh, that's the superhero thing on Amazon. I haven't watched that, no, but I hear people like it a lot, and some people I don't know if they like the ending necessarily. But
yeah, it's pretty entertaining though. It's like super powered people that are heels.
Yes, they like have the image that they're superheroes, right? But behind the scenes, they're bad people.
Well, some of them are really good, and then some are just evil. And that's what happens. You can become a bully, or you can become humble. With great power comes great responsibility.
That's it.
But anyway, I just finished that, and I'm looking for something else. But
I heard a show. I don't know. Do you like horror? Like horror?
Not specifically or necessarily.
Okay, there's a show I just heard about called Widow's Bay. It's on Apple Plus, and I guess it's really good. But it's like horror comedy basically, and I was hearing some really positive things about that. So that kind of caught my eye. So I'm like,
I try to only allow myself maybe like one fiction show, if that. I feel like I'm learning with nonfiction, even though all we're learning is what was reported. We don't know ever if that's what really fucking happened.
Right. What's true and what necessarily isn't.
Yeah. So, we were talking about, there's actually quite a bit to talk about in the mobster fucking world right now.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, but we were talking about how there's a movie, and Pete Davidson, is that his name? The Kim Kardashian's ex-boyfriend, from Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, it must be Pete Davidson. Did he date Kim? Yeah, I think he dated Kim Kardashian. He dated a lot of hot chicks, Pete Davidson.
Yeah, I think that's his name. He's playing Tommy Karate Patera. Do you remember talking about that?
Oh, no shit. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Tommy Patera.
yeah. You making sure it's Davidson?
Yeah, I'm making sure. Yep, you're right.
We're waiting until we get your attention back. Okay. So that was like 2 weeks ago. We were talking about that, but since then, what just happened, as far as I know, just within the last few days, and it's because of this, I think, the real guy, Tommy Patera, has released audio tapes of him and his daughter talking while he's at the federal prison. And this guy's been in jail for over 34 years, and we've never heard him talk. We've never heard his side of the stories or anything. And there's a book about him called The Butcher, right? And so that's what we get all of our quote facts about him from, you know?
Yeah.
And he's on there to say what bullshit that is, and how Philip Carlo is full of shit, and how he made up all this stuff. And it's like interesting because we say like, oh yeah, Tommy, he killed Willie Boy Johnson, and then, you know, who knows who's telling the truth? There's, you know, three sides to every story, blah blah blah. But I'm just saying, it's amazing though. First off, that we get to hear him. He sounds like Joe Pesci.
Does he?
Yeah, and there's like 7 parts to him talking to his daughter. One of the things that he does to discredit Philip Carlo, which is totally legit. I mean, I've said the exact same thing. Philip Carlo wrote the book, The Iceman, and then they made a movie from it. And then everybody thinks that that's facts, the way that everything happened. But in reality, as he's saying, Philip Carlo was full of shit. I said he was full of shit because he said that Iceman told him, either way, they said that he was responsible for every famous mafia hit ever in history. And there's just no way. They said Iceman, according to Philip Carlo, took credit for Carmine Galante, which is when the guy with his opened up mouth and the fucking rolled back chair, the cigar hanging in his mouth. They said he did that. They said that he did Jimmy fucking Hoffa. They said he did John Favara, Gotti's neighbor that hit the kid with the car.
Yeah.
They said that he killed fucking Paul Castellano, which everyone knows. They said that he killed Roy DeMeo. And so I knew that obviously, you know, you can only, just like with most things, all we know is what was reported by them. You can't feel like you know how shit happened just because someone said that's how it happened, you know?
Yeah.
But so anyway, it's amazing though to hear him talk, and it's got like the whole mob internet world alarmed or up in a buzz talking about these things that he's saying. We've never heard him, you know, in over 34 years, and it's fucking crazy. And he's doing a life sentence. And if you remember right, when he got busted, it was my friend's brother-in-law, James Hunt, the Irish dude that actually busted him. He talks about him a lot too. But anyway, that's something that's pretty amazing. Also, they're doing a movie on Greg Scarpa, and Mark Wahlberg is playing Greg Scarpa. So that's something else. Something else I'm looking forward to. Greg Scarpa
again? Who's Greg?
What's that?
Who's
Who is
Greg
he?
Scarpa? Yeah, who was he?
Yeah, so they called him the Grim Reaper.
Okay.
He was a made man, definitely. I think a captain, I think at one point, but I'm not sure about that. But he, who was he with? He wasn't with Gambinos, Lucchese's, Bonanos, Genovese.
I'm trying to look it up.
That's
I can tell you.
No, it's the Columbus. Thank you.
Yeah, you
Anyway, he killed a lot of people, and was maybe a very horrible person. And he was there during at least 2, if not all 3, Colombo Wars. Him making it through it, and he the whole time was talking with an FBI dude. This guy, they had this relationship. Linda Vecchio is the FBI agent's name, and so Linda Vecchio got charged and had to go on trial and everything. He got acquitted, but they blamed him for feeding Greg Scarpa information, and then Greg would go out and do these hits because he would tell them where people are and shit like that, but they could never prove it. And he says he never crossed the line, but either way, Greg Scarpa was an informant like the whole time and never told anybody. He had an understudy, Larry Mazza, that was fucking his wife. And then he was like, that's cool. Just like keep it in the house. I don't want anyone else finding out. And that'll make me look bad, and didn't give a fuck. He's, he killed men and women. The movie's going to be a lot about, there was a particular part of his mafia career where he helped the federal government during the civil rights wars in Mississippi during the Mississippi burnings.
Oh
In
yeah,
fact,
yeah.
There was a movie already done called something like that.
Called Mississippi Burning.
Yeah, based on the exact same thing, which was a couple of or 3, I believe, carload of civil rights workers came through Mississippi and disappeared, and they couldn't find them. And they ended up sending Greg Scarpa to go undercover and do what they couldn't legally do. And according to legend, he found the bad guys that were also Ku Klux Klan members, and allegedly, I've heard tortured them. I've heard just stuck a gun to his head, whatever, and got the information on where the bodies were buried, and actually found the missing victims, and found out also, who had done it, and they just kind of like leave him out from history, but tell the rest of the story.
Wow, man!
Supposedly went to a TV repair shop where this guy was, who was the Ku Klux Klan. I don't know what his position was, but he was one of the guys too, and had him help carry a TV out, and then once they got outside, just fucking put a gun to him, threw him, and kidnapped him.
Damn, how about that?
Yeah.
That'll be an interesting movie to check out. Yeah, I was trying to see when it premieres or whatever. But yeah, somebody just wrote the Mob Museum actually just wrote an article about it a couple weeks ago. So, man, that sounds interesting though.
Yeah. Also, Johnny A-Light, who is an Albanian mobster that was a Gambino associate. He's got a podcast. His podcast was one of the first. I've actually been a guest on his podcast show. He, after having several books worth of an adventurous life that included many prisons, going from one to the other, different countries, doing what he needed to do to get out, turning his life around, became a member of Congress in New Jersey. Not the mayor, but somebody right next to him. I'm not sure what the position is. Maybe somebody knows here, but either way, he's doing these motivational speeches about, turning around, even if you're going down the wrong path, you can still turn around and make something good and positive out of your life. And bam, all of a sudden he fucked up allegedly, and he's in jail now, and with his history, it's not looking very good for him. I guess from what it's reported, they've denied bail, and he's charged with extortion and loaning illegal debts at illegally high interest rates and threatening violence to collect. And they did a raid, and supposedly they got him with all kinds of fucking evidence and a bunch of weapons, which is crazy because the weapons by themselves sound like, so what? He had a bunch of baseball bats and shit. But I guess, within the commission of a robbery, then they become a totally different item than just a baseball bat. But that's something that also has kind of turned the mafia internet world upside down lately, is talking about him and what's going on with him, like on a day-by-day basis.
Wow! So there's a lot going down. I'll have to dive into that. I'm very intrigued by the Tommy Karate stuff, so I have to listen to some of that audio. That's pretty awesome.
If you want, I'll send you the recording number 1, and then at the end of it, you can just keep going on to the next one.
Yeah, I'm game for that because I think that'll be fascinating to hear about. Brian Gerard, you're in the raffle for 1. Thanks for the $5. What's up from Pensacola? Loving the vibe tonight. Well, thanks for joining us, Brian. I hope you become a weekly attendee here. Maddie asked.
Brian.
Yeah. Maddie asked.
Glad to have you.
Yes, Brian. Indeed. Maddie asked an interesting question. Was Sabu named after Sabu Dastagir Sparkham? And he adds clarity to that. Apparently, there was a 1937 movie called Sabu the Elephant Boy, or The Elephant Boy, it was called. A 1937 British adventure film starring Indian-born actor Sabu in his film debut. So do you know if Sabu is...
is it not? It's obvious enough. I mean, you nailed it. You nailed it right there. There are no coincidences, and
no, yeah,
and so we thought that in the Jungle Book or something, like, we don't know. I mean, I haven't even seen that whole movie, but that was that character's name was Sabu, which I guess it wasn't. I don't know.
No,
but
it was Mowgli. Mowgli was
okay. Yeah. But when he first got called Sabu the Jungle Boy, we thought of that guy.
Yeah.
But then we learned that he was actually a real actor, and he even has a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. And I know right where it is. It's right down by the towards the Pantheon Theater. We used to point that out all the time when we'd be walking on Hollywood Boulevard. When I say we, I mean me and Sabu. We were like, "Look, there it is." And he's like, "I got my own star." And that was the actor. Something else you guys might appreciate. So Sabu said, "Okay." She came up with these gimmicks, Polish Prince and Sabu the Elephant Boy. And so originally, we watched Blood Moon, and there's this fighter on there that's a black dude from some African country, and instead of standing up straight, he's all hunched over, and he like rolls around, like rolls side to the side, and he rolls around and boom, and like I think karate chops someone on the head, the giant or someone, I think, during one of the scenes, and Jean-Claude ends up fighting him and kicking him. But anyway, we watched that, and Sabu would practice, and he would try to mimic that character's body movements. And that was how he came up with Sabu, was a hybrid of him and his interpretation of that action, that actor in the Kumite. Yeah.
Oh. Was this Bloodsport, Rob? Was this Bloodsport?
Bloodsport, yep.
Okay.
Bloodsport, and he's like a small dude, barefoot, He looks like someone from like an African tribe. And he does like somersaults, and he's hunched over, stays hunched over like Sabu would do, and does leg dives and jumps up and like does a karate chop on the head and jumps back down and rolls. And he looks like he was raised by monkeys or something.
Oh, I see the guy. I see him.
You can't show him?
I can show him. It'll take me a second just to pull up the image, but I can get it. Let me make sure I get the right one, though. Here we go.
People come to see the Dom, but they stay for the history.
They stay for the history. I don't know if they come to see me. I don't think I'm the draw here. If I had to wager a guess. Here, wait. That's Irish Mickey Doyle, everyone. But here is maybe who Rob's talking about. Boom. Is it him?
Yes, sir. That's him. That is the original inspiration for the original Sabu the Elephant Boy wrestler.
Wow. So there we go, everybody. How about that? Fun fact that we did not know. Very interesting.
It bothers my back staying hunched over that long like he does, and probably did his too.
Yeah, right. And you stretch.
Yeah, but that actor did a good job, and so did Sabu.
Yeah. Well, here's an interesting question, Rob. Did not expect to see something like this, but somebody might be trolling us. But here we go. Did RVD or Sabu's feet smell worse in ECW? Whose feet smelled worse in ECW? Asked Dustin. Dustin, don't worry. Did you smell Sabu's feet?
No, I don't think I ever smelled his feet. I probably smelled my feet once or twice, so I guess I'm gonna say probably me.
Probably.
My nose is a lot closer to my feet.
Yes.
There was a foot doctor there that was our full-time medic, right?
Oh, I remember hearing about him, I think.
Yeah, he was our EMT guy that would come down no matter what. I got my eyelid ripped open. Foot doctor would sew me back up. And one time, I can't remember what happened to my toenail, but it was like broke, and he had to take my toenail off of my toe. Oh. It was like gnarly. But the same thing happened on my finger, November to Remember, with Tommy Dreamer, which I'm looking at a picture of that exact match. It's a comic book cover, actually, November to Remember. But I went to hit Tommy with a chair on that one, and I don't know if he punched it or what, but my finger got caught in the chair. And then when I went to drop it or whatever, it just hung. And my fingernail had to come off later on that night too. And that was all thanks to our foot doctor. He would be the one to ask whose foot smelled better or worse, or however you want to put it.
Let's get him on as a guest.
Yeah.
He'd actually probably be an interesting guest, considering all the people it's like stitched up in ECW for sure.
He was Raven's guy. Raven got him hired somehow. I don't know the whole story, but they did tell me, though, both of them.
But that Mike Blake.
Maybe it was on the a documentary on ECW. I think they might have told the story on there, because I never knew there was him, and then there was also this couple, and I never knew about all the stuff that was going on with that couple, and she was partying with the boys without him and all this stuff. It was it must have been the Dark Side of the Ring episodes, one of them.
Oh yeah, that might make sense, right?
Yeah, which, to get back to this, did you watch 1 and or 2?
No, the TNA one?
Yes.
No, I haven't watched either of them yet, so I got to check them out.
And who said that they saw it? Was it
Maddie, I think, asked about it. So I think Maddie.
Either way, how was it? How was it?
Yeah, let us know, Maddie. Did you like it? What did you think about it? Drop it in the chat here.
I usually like the show, but I got to be honest, the 3-part episode turns me off, just because I guess short attention span. I'm thinking like, man, that's a hell of a commitment. It took a long time to watch the Hulk Hogan Netflix documentary, at least a couple of weeks after everyone else saw it. That's Hulk Hogan. We're talking about Jeff Jarrett here.
We're talking about TNA.
No offense, Jeff.
Good old Jeff. I love Jeff. Shout out to him. I guess he's really good in that episode, though, from what I heard. Him and Karen. So they said both him and Karen are really good in that episode. I know, too, some people that they talked to, too. Vince Russo, I think. Jim Cornette, obviously. D'Lo Brown, he's on there, too. So it seems like a pretty interesting panel they have going on over there. Let's see here. Okay, so Mike Blakesley, thanks for the $10. You're in the raffle for 2. That's 2. Great show, guys. R.I.P. Warrior and fuck the hate. If you all wasn't around back then, you'd never understand. All right, well, appreciate the $10, Mike. You're in the raffle, man.
Yeah,
sorry.
You can't deny that he captured the fans. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And but there's also the politicking, and it's like there was a show called Last Comic Standing. I don't know if you ever watched
I remember that.
Yeah,
I might have watched a couple episodes, but I remember it.
I think it was the first season. It could have been the second. I don't know. Jay Moore was, I believe, the host from the beginning.
Yeah, you're right. He was. Jay Moore was.
And there was one. So all these comedians lived in this house, and like all day they're like trying to make each other laugh and stuff. And then there's one guy, Dat Fan, Asian dude, and he was kind of like more like not silly all day long. Like he would write his material out, and plan and shit like that. And so they all gave him hate for it because he wasn't one of the boys, you know what I mean? And they're like, you're not funny, Dad. But then when he would go out there on stage, he would crush it. You know what I mean? And it's like they would always get that's Warrior going out there doing his way that's not traditionally acceptable. And it's not, cool by the good old boys, and it might even be insulting to the industry from that political point of view. But he goes out there and does something different, and he connects with the crowd, and they loved him. He won the whole fucking season, and they were dropping off one by one, saying, "Is this for real?" But yeah, he was funnier than everybody else, and they were all just making each other laugh like assholes that don't get enough work, And maybe it's because the cameras were on or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't know, but some people like that in real life I find exhausting. You know what I mean? If they want you to laugh, if it makes you laugh, then that's cool. If it just comes out, but if you feel like, oh my God, I can't keep laughing at this motherfucker. I wish he would just shut up and go to sleep. But anyway, I loved Warrior as a fan. He connected with me. I bought what he was selling, and a lot of fans did. So, he'll always be looked at by certain people as not one of the boys. I've heard he had his own dressing room and he didn't want to ride with everyone else and, this and that. Now it's more like that. It's more professional and less secret society rules, I mean, like how many wrestlers have buses nowadays?
Yeah.
If it would have just been one guy that had a bus back, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, whatever, they would have got so much heat,
Oh, yeah. I don't know if you remember this, Rob. Who was it talking about this? Oh, it was Scott D'Amore. Apparently, when he was early days in WCW or something, there was a time where Booker T and Stevie Ray and there was the community, the regular locker room, and there, I guess Booker T and Stevie Ray would do commentary on the matches that they're watching on there. And people were having fun, and Sting happened to catch wind of it, and he was like, "Hey, what are you guys doing here?" And they're like, "Oh, just fucking around," kind of thing. And then Sting was so interested, he had his own locker room at that point. And then he was like, "Hey, you guys mind if I come and hang out?" And Booker, what did Booker say? I don't want to ruin it, but he was like, "Yeah, as long as you don't give that like arrogant attitude or some shit like that. I'm paraphrasing it, but he like was busting Sting's balls about it. But I was like, I wonder if Rob was there for something like that, or if that was Pat after the fact, maybe later on at WCW.
Well, when I the very first show that I came to, that was TNA, was in Long Beach, California, and Booker T was there. I think he was part of the Money Mafia or something.
Oh, Main Event Mafia.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's where I met Dixie, and she was like, we would love to talk, about have you come in to work for us, whatever, and I seen him do it there, but I'd also seen him do it in WWE too, commentate. Yeah. So we've said that a bunch, that it was a natural for him to get a job commentating, because he did it all the time anyway.
Right. Yeah, now he's on NXT all the time doing it, which I think is great. I enjoy Booker a lot. So hell yeah. Let me make sure I get the right chats, super chats. I don't want to make sure I'm passing people up here. Okay, so we got Boston Brat. He says, okay, so Boston Bat, sorry. Thanks for $5. You're in the raffle again. You have 3 entries right now. I live in Australia, and I met Rob last time he was here. I gifted him the joint holder. I did not have a case, just a belt sign. Yeah.
Hold on, I think it's right over here.
Oh, how about that?
And this isn't the first time that this has appeared on the show. So this is a reoccurring guest, but it's pretty badass. So looks like first off, it glows in the dark, which is cool. You'll have to trust me on that one. Looks like a gun barrel, chambers, whatever the fuck you call that part of the gun. And it is when you open it up. But instead of bullets, it had, when he gifted this to me, a bunch of pre-rolled doobies on the outside and a lighter in the middle. That's one of my favorite gifts I've ever gotten from a fan. From anybody. It means so much to me. But super cool, and I liked it so much, and told him so much that he gave me 2 of them. And yeah, and even though it was carrying doobies in it and stuff, when you screw this closed, it's completely smell proof. It made it through the TSA, and she even opened it up to look at it and everything. But I washed it out. I'm not an idiot.
Right. This ain't
super cool though. Yeah, thank you for that, dude. And I shall cherish it forever.
Forever. Ooh. So yeah, great stuff. That's cool. I remember you talking about that earlier on. So that's cool. You're in the chat here. Cool. Frankie Torizo always asks a good question. Thanks for the $5. You're in the raffle for 1. Should Paul Heyman have let the Dudleys piss off the ECW crowd before they wrestled? Dom, did you get my email video with the nunchucks and RVD hair? I don't know. I must not have, because I don't know what that is. Should Paul have let the Dudleys piss off the ECW crowd before they wrestled? Oh, because didn't they rile the crowd up real bad the one time?
Not just one time.
Oh,
that was their regular shtick, and it was Bubba. It wasn't Devon. Devon was there to back him up, but Bubba would get on the microphone, and he would go way, way past what would be cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's one thing. In my opinion, it's one thing, to be like, Cleveland smells like cow manure, boo, you people. But he would pick out one person in the front row, like a dude that's got his lady right there, and he'd say, "What the fuck do you think you're gonna do?" And he would start getting really personal, and he'd say, "I'm saying that me and Devon and brother Big Dick Dudley could run a train on this girl, and there isn't shit you'd be able to do about it because you're too much of a fucking pussy. Don't laugh. Don't laugh. No, I'm not fucking joking. You're a fucking pussy. And then she's a fucking whore. I mean, I'm not even exaggerating. Like, it got that bad to where I felt sorry for the person in the front row. I'm like, no way that person's having a good time right now.
No.
You know?
No, it gets to the point past that threshold where you're like, I paid a ticket to come here and have a good time. I'm not having a good time.
Oh, brutal. You're
So
not even man enough to fucking do anything when I'm telling you that your wife's a whore in front of all these people. And you know, who am I to judge someone else's art though? But yeah, I thought that he went way too far, and he did, you know, cause people to want to react. And then if they did, they'd get beat up and kicked out. You know, there's no winning for it. And
there's no.
I didn't think it was necessary, in my opinion. You know, luckily Bubba softened up a lot over the years. Now he's, you know, he's like soft like a rock. Used to be.
He picks and chooses his battles a little bit more now, but he's not afraid to go double barreled on some people. At least I've seen it on X a couple of times more, and I'm sure in person too, nonetheless. Nelson Kelso says, I stream games and I always stop to say Rob Van Dam. Good to have that then.
No.
Hell yeah.
But, you know, I hope it works well for you.
Yes, right? Mm-hmm. Now this one wasn't a super chat, but I thought this was an interesting question by Gem the Dawn. He says, if young RVD was growing up today, do you think he would still want to become a wrestler, or is wrestling too different nowadays where you don't think it would captivate you the same way? I think that's an interesting question.
I can only imagine that it probably could have captivated me, you know, especially if I wasn't built with an old school foundation first to see everything through, because that changes my perspective. But when I was a kid, you know, me and Dango, we were ready for whatever adventures we could get into, because Battle Creek was kind of boring. You know, there wasn't a lot going on there. I've said many times, nobody in the whole city knew anybody famous. You know, there was a story, and I would tell kids at school, because my mom told me, I'd say, yeah, like my cousin's roommate's aunt's mother is on the beginning of the Mary Tyler Moore show. When she throws her hat up in the air, she's like in that crowd somewhere. And I was like proud of that and shit, you know, and fucking it up anyway. So when there was a chance, you know, we wanted to, we had that fire in our shorts when American Gladiators came through and had tryouts. Boom, we were right there fucking trying out for it. When the Tough Man contest came through, boom, we were right there fucking trying out for it. Anything that would have came through exciting like that. And I would imagine that we probably thought back then that wrestling was a lot more like it is now than it really was. I think after getting trained, we learned that it was different in a lot of ways than we would have really thought that it was. And I think that now it's more like that.
Yeah.
So if I saw this style back then, you know, sure, why not?
Yeah, you've been like, hell yeah, that's what me and Dango do all the time.
Yeah.
And all that kind of stuff. I did look up famous people from Battle Creek, Michigan. Obviously, Rob, you are on there. Also, and you know this too, I'm sure. John Harvey. Huh?
Tony the Tiger.
Well, yes. So John Harvey Kellogg, he's from there.
Okay.
So is CW Post. So the cereal people.
People don't know that. They only know about Kellogg's in Battle Creek, but they don't know that Post is right the fuck across the street. And then General Mills is right down the street, too.
What the fuck? Seriously?
Yeah. Unless it's closed down in the last few years, but that's how it's always been. And for some reason, Kellogg's gets all the talk. They get all the hype.
Man, how about that? You're the cereal capital of the world.
Yeah. Well, you know what I learned, though? And here's some full circle. My friend whose brother-in-law caught Tommy Karate Patera.
Yeah.
He lives in Springfield, Massachusetts. And I just learned like last year that Springfield, Massachusetts and Battle Creek, Michigan have a long going feud about being the breakfast capital of the fucking world. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that random?
What does Springfield have that makes sense?
I think it's pancakes. I don't know if they have maple syrup and trees or something, but I think it's something to do with pancakes. Like we would have cereal every, one day a year on that longest breakfast table in the world. We would always have cereal and shit. And then I think, but I'm not sure that they would have, but let me see. I know somebody that would know. Alexa, when Battle Creek, Michigan feuds with Springfield, Massachusetts about being the breakfast capital of the world, what does Springfield, Massachusetts offer people to eat?
Springfield, Massachusetts offers pancakes, bacon, coffee, juice, and milk at their world's largest pancake breakfast.
There's no stopping
serving
me.
up this hearty meal since 1986. Drawing thousands to Main Street for a friendly rivalry.
Isn't that fucking random?
That's crazy.
Want to know more about how this pancake battle started and grew into a yearly tradition?
Yes, but we'll talk later.
Sounds good.
I would like to
Catch
know
you
more.
later, Robert.
Yeah. Wow. So, well, I gotta give it to Battle Creek though, because you guys, that's where the cereal stuff originated from. So like, if they're just adopting breakfast over there, Springfield, Massachusetts, did they create pancakes? I don't think they created pancakes. I don't think they created bacon, right? So,
do you want me to ask Alexa?
You don't have to, unless you want to.
I think it might have something to do with the syrup, but I don't know. Like, it seems like Massachusetts would have like Paul Bunyan cutting trees down.
Yeah, that is true. Let's see. Yeah, it doesn't say what it does, but it does say it began, like it said, began in the 1980s. Yes, and it is a playful civic rivalry between Battle Creek and Springfield. How about that?
Yeah, crazy. Yeah, I agree. Breakfast foods are the best. That's what Boston Blatt says. I love breakfast. When I'm by myself and I don't, like Katie's not with me, I'm on the road or home or whatever, sometimes I will have breakfast 3 times a day. And quite often I'll wake up and have oatmeal, and then a little while later I will have protein pancakes, and then maybe still later have like yogurt with cereal on it. Like, I love it all. But so as the history goes in Battle Creek, Michigan, there's one old man, and I can't tell you his name because I haven't heard it since I was a kid. I will probably know it if you look it up and tell it, but I'm not going to try to think of it because it's not anywhere near the tip of my tongue. But he had some businesses downtown in Battle Creek, and so he was known as a successful, wealthy businessman. And when they did the biggest breakfast table, they offended him because they stopped short, I believe, and didn't put a table in front of his place.
Oh.
And it offended him. So every year when everyone else eats cereal, he puts pancakes out.
Oh.
Yeah.
Pancake business. I'm going to try it.
I talked to him about renting a building to put the ring in one time.
Really?
Yeah. Old man. And I just remember thinking, so that's what a rich, super rich guy that owns half the town looks like, huh? But,
what the heck? Well, how about that?
But it was just, I don't know what all he owned, but yeah, He was cool though.
I'm trying to figure out what his name is. I'm gonna do a deep dive into that and figure it out.
Let me see if I can word it. Alexa, in Battle Creek, Michigan, there's an old man who was offended when the world's biggest breakfast table didn't lay a table in front of his building. So he decided to make pancakes every year. What is his name?
It's a good way to word it.
That's an interesting story about Battle Creek. The man you're referring to is likely C.W. Post, who started making pancakes annually after being offended by the world's largest breakfast table not being in front of his building. Want to hear more about how C.W. Post's pancake tradition grew over the years?
Kinda, but we'll talk later. Well, the guy I'm talking about wasn't C.W. Post, but that's amazing that that's his story too, right?
Yeah, right. Wow. How about that? That's bonkers. Oh man, I gotta figure that out now. All right, we got some more super chats in. Let's see.
Call him
Maddie.
old man something, not like Mr. Lafton, but like old man Lafton or something.
Yeah. Oh man, that's a great character name to have. Old man something. Who you got for Brock versus Obafemi 3? Talk shit, get hit. Yeah, Brock Lesnar kicked Obafemi in the nuts a couple weeks ago.
This is 3. So boom. Who won number 2?
Brock won number 2. Oba won the first one. The third one's in a Hell in a Cell at SummerSlam.
I think Brock, and it's going to piss people off, and they're going to say, Oba should have been pushed to the moon, man. But I think they're going to want to do the babyface chase. My guess.
So you think Brock will win?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Ooh, that should be very interesting. Maddie says RVD with Dom as the manager versus JCVD. What's the finish? Jean-Claude Van Damme? If you had to fight Jean-Claude Van Damme, Rob, what would be the finish to that match?
Time limit. Time limit. It'd be like a mirror, and every time we go to strike, we'd hit each other, and nobody could get anything on the other one.
That's it. Yeah, you'd go Broadway.
I'd be happy to put him over.
Hey, nice.
He's the man. I just saw yesterday for the first time a video of him competing in martial arts, like when he was younger and shit.
Really?
Some came up on YouTube. I don't know how, when I was going through shit, and I saw Steven Seagal, but then that one got kind of hard to watch after a while because it was very, very much like his more recent stuff, which is ridiculous, in my opinion. But but anyway, and Bruce Lee. You ever seen Bruce Lee compete like in a actual?
No, I never seen him compete.
There's a video out there. I saw it.
All right. I got some things to watch.
I mean, it's nothing like, I'm not saying like you're gonna die if you miss it or anything, but I just thought it was interesting, and they're both very short, like 3-minute videos.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'd love to see the Bruce Lee stuff. I love Bruce Lee. I think he's awesome. Yeah. Maddie also asked this: did RVD come into TNA when Jeff Jarrett and Dutch were fired? Was that around the time you came in? Do you remember?
That's a good question. Well, I don't know what happened when I wasn't there, but I came in twice. The first time was in 2010 when TNA was doing a live show going up against Monday Night Raw. And at that point, it was Eric Bischoff, Hulk Hogan, maybe Vince Russo. I don't know if Vince Russo was there yet or not.
I don't think he was. point.
So I don't know about Double J. By the way, I've known Double J since 1990. No, 91 when I did USWA. It's funny because last time I talked to him about it a couple years ago, I said something about like, man, I was a baby then, and he said we all were, and I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, he's not really that much older than me. Like back then, I thought of him as just being like a veteran and me being a young green kid, because it was only like my second year in the business, and he's Boss's son. He's tag team champion with Robert Fuller. So I just looked at him as if like he'd always been working or whatever. And for him to say, yeah, we were all babies, I'm like, yeah, I guess a lot of us were. A lot of us, when I look back at the footage, it's amazing to me how young everyone else is at the same time. It's like, how could I have not noticed that they look so much different than they do now? You know, everybody. You know, when they go back 20 years, 30 years, or whatever. But you know, everyone looks a little different.
Yeah, no, Jeff's not that much. He's like probably about 5 years older than you, Rob. I think.
Man, and he was everything. He was the number one guy. He was number one baby face, and he was, you know, I thought Office. Like I was told, you know, you get heat with him if you. You know, maybe I might have got heat possibly for accompanying a girl that I didn't know was his or saved for his at the time. That was the land of the rats or groupies back then. It was crazy. Like I remember the first time we pulled up to the Days Inn in Jefferson, Indiana, and just pulling up into the in front of the hotel is a swing set. And there's like groupies sitting there waiting for the wrestlers to get back after the matches, and they'll have beer to bribe you with. You know, hey, you know, Dom, you want a beer? You know, to go over and talk to him or whatever and stuff. Yeah. Crazy times. But anyway, I didn't watch Dark Side of the Ring, but I will with Jeff Jarrett. But why are we talking about Jeff?
Because we were asking if you were there when he got fired from TNA.
Yeah, I wouldn't know.
So I looked it up. Dutch got fired in 2009 apparently, and that was before you came in. So
yeah.
So that.
And then when I came back.
Yeah.
I came back again like in 2020 or somewhere around there, 2019, I think. Mm-hmm. And then it was Scott D'Amore. So
it was Scott D'Amore at that point, yeah. So thank you, Maddie. Brian Gerard asked another question. You're in the raffle 2 times now. My kid brother worked at the Indies in Michigan for 15 years. Some of the boys adopted me as their big bro. They always be family. That's very cool too, Brian. Hell yeah.
Nice. I wonder who those promoters were. You know, one thing that's crazy about Michigan is that there's a whole Upper Peninsula, and it's like for my life, for some reason, it's like almost like it doesn't even exist. Like we went up there one time because there's a Fort Mackinac Island, and you go up there and you get fudge and you look at, you know, old cannons and shit. We did that once when I was a little kid. But besides that, it like would never come up ever, like in the news or in trips. Never meet anybody that says, "Oh yeah, I live up in the UP." It was just weird. Like I forget that it even existed. So when someone talks about if they wrestled for a lot of indie promoters, then they could have been all over Michigan. You know, I just knew a handful of them probably because that part of my career I was looking to meet everybody, looking to spread my name.
Yeah. No, it's fascinating how many sometimes indie promotions there are in certain states. I know Pittsburgh area has a decent amount in the area too. So, all right, Maddie asks or just has a comment here. It's funny to me, Stoner.
You never heard of Sam Siegel in Pittsburgh, right? The sadistic Dr. Sam Siegel. No,
I don't think I have.
Okay.
The sadistic Dr. Sam. I'll Google him too.
A third or fourth show, I think. Virgil was there. It was
Oh,
like a
yeah.
third or fourth show, and Virgil was there, and he wasn't on TV yet. And Sabu, a lot of times, would tell the story about he was talking to Virgil, and Virgil was telling him, "I'm going up, man. They called me up, man. I'm gonna." And he was telling them he's gonna get in this new suit made and this and that. And Sabu said that he thought he was full of shit, and then saw him doing the Virgil gimmick on WWE a few weeks later. I was too young and green to even talk to anybody. I was told not to.
Yes, don't talk to anybody.
Don't talk to anybody unless they talk to you, unless you're just going to introduce yourself. If you introduce yourself, I'm so-and-so, shake their hand, boom. So, I had no idea what he was talking about. He would tell us later at the dinner table or in the car.
Yeah. No, Virgil's from the Pittsburgh area somewhere. I can't remember where he's from, though.
This was so early in my career. It was another kickboxing match.
Really?
Yeah. Yep. I believe a Vietnamese kickboxing match or something.
Wow.
So we did that the first 2 or 3 shows or something, and this was that early.
Wow. How about that? I'll have to
the
look him
Great
up.
Sultan, wasn't he there? Or was he the guy in Memphis? No, he was there at that show, Sam Siegel.
Huh. I'm gonna have to Google him. Chris May just says, "Thanks for the $5. You're in the raffle for one. Dig the GTA style for the names. Hey, you're welcome. I like it. Thanks for the feedback."
Katie keeps saying that people don't trust the AI, and I see it too. Like when people do ads with AI, like people are hating on it and getting sick of it. My damn good CBD people and the RVD 420, they've been using like AI, and I'm like man, I want to promote it more when you get past that, because they're like, oh no, that's just temporarily, while we're doing it right now, and then next week it'll be, like, well, I'll start promoting it more next week, because people are already like hating on it. They don't think it's real. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, no, people do. I think AI is overall, like, the visual that it gives off is kind of a turn off at this point. Like, people are used to seeing, you can immediately tell sometimes, like, especially if it's enhanced or AI built. And so I do think it is kind of a turn off for some people. I've kind of tried to mix it up a little bit more, but I do utilize AI to enhance images and stuff like that from time to time. So, but yeah, I think it's been a big turnoff for people as of recent.
Yeah, me too.
And I'm curious too, have you heard about all the data centers that are getting built and then it's sucking up all the water and stuff like that when it comes to? Okay, it's pretty crazy from what I've been hearing. I haven't dived too much into that though either, so I don't want to pontificate on it if I don't know a whole lot about it, but a little concerning from what I have heard. Yes. Seth, thank you for the $20, man. If you guys don't know, Seth has done the theme song to the One of a Kind with RVD. So the intro to the countdown song you hear, that's him. A little higher on Spotify. Check it out.
Hey.
Yeah. RVD.
Love it.
Kalani Jordan and Kendall Gray did sweep your kick counter reversal spot from the Jerry Lynn match in Hardcore Heaven 1999. They did it exactly like an homage, but maybe you should get a percentage of that NXT episode.
Yeah. Let me give somebody my PayPal account.
That's it, right?
No, you know what's funny? Obviously, Kalani Jordan has been open about saying that I was one of the wrestlers that influenced her the most, and I'm flattered. And just recently, I think I was when we were down in Florida, I was flipping through the channels and she had a match and I put it on, and Katie was telling my mom, that one does Rob's moves, that girl in the purple or whatever. And then she did this, split-legged moonsault. Ooh, see. And something else too. I'm not sure what else it was, but having said that, that's awesome, really cool. When someone asked me about who on today's roster I would want to pass the torch to or whatever. I would have to also, I don't remember what I said, but I would have to consider, her as well.
Yeah.
Kalana Jordan, because she's like the female RVD, or at least, as far as like my move set. Now when people say that the way I move is unique and my body movements and everything, this and that, I don't know. I can't tell you. That's for y'all to decide. You know what I mean? As far as like, if that's ever even attempted or duplicated, or if that's just me being different, that's how I do. But what do you think about that, though, about doing the entire spots as homage? Because I've seen that on Instagram where they split the action and they will show, like, what I'm saying? Like, it could be anybody could be Shawn Michaels and Razor Ramon, and they split it, and then it'll show, like, Adam Pearce and this guy, whatever, and it'll show the exact same sequence, and they'll keep going with the timing for like 7 or 8 moves sometimes or whatever. And that's like a new thing, huh?
Yeah, no, I've seen that happen too. I think I saw it with like a Brett and Owen match, and somebody replicated it or something. But either way, I think it's pretty cool because it does like tip the cap back to you, and you have to be really, really into the weeds to understand, okay, this happened before. And like, so like fans will appreciate it. It's almost like comic books, if you're into the comic book stuff, you can see stuff and references and continuity that makes sense to it all. So if you're paying homage back to some 2 legends that were going at it and you do it in your match, like how many years later, like 20 something years later, I think that's kind of cool to do, and keeps the legacy alive, so to speak. So I think it's kind of neat.
I hated it when I first saw it for obvious reasons, you know what I mean? But yeah, now, just with the way that wrestling is different and stuff, it seems like it fits more looking at it from a different view.
Yeah. And I can understand too, because it's just like, okay, we're trying to keep it real. So why would this happen the exact same way this happened?
Like the first time I saw it on Instagram where it was split screen and they showed the whole thing, I thought, busted.
You
just exposed the fucking business by being uncreative, not being able to do your own fucking damn shit and think for yourself, and fucking stealing that, thinking no one's gonna know. Well, they know. They fucking busted you. Look at you. But and then when you look at it as a homage, it's like, So, but it's just 2 complete different schools of thought. So
it really is though, and it's like you could make an argument either way for it, I think, and but yeah, I mean, like when I think about
one
too,
old, outdated way, and then one way that's definitely going forward.
One more, one is a little progressive, like, all right, I'm willing to accept that. Another one's like, I don't know, that's my cup of tea. I can see it both ways, though. I can understand both mind of thought for sure. Good addition there, Seth. Thanks for telling us that too, by the way. Frankie, you're in the raffle again for 5. Any funny police encounters in Sabu's RV? Did you? Okay, that's the first question. I'll get to the next one and then next. So, any funny police encounters in Sabu's RV? Remember?
I can't think of any in the RV. Like there was definitely some crimes committed, but I don't think I can't remember the cops ever showing up with the Winnebago, and I mean, besides Sabu driving when he shouldn't be, speeding and swerving and all that, we literally would rip bumpers off of parked cars sometimes and just keep going. And I don't think that a cop ever, I can't remember, not one, not even a speeding ticket that I can remember. Yeah.
Dang. All right. Well, second question he asked, did you know beforehand that Butterbean was going to kill Bart Gunn in the Brawl for All?
I knew before I saw it, but I didn't see it live. So it had already happened, I think. I already knew what to expect because of spoilers. But my money would have been on Butterbean. I mean, that dude hits so hard. But Bart did great. And by the way, I've known that motherfucker since 91 or maybe the beginning of 92.
Oh, wow.
And
wow.
him and Billy Badass, Billy Gunn. Both of those guys were a tag team called the Long Riders at Universal Studios, wrestling for Eddie Mansfield. They had to work against the team of bodybuilder looking dudes named Thunder and Lightning. They had a short little run in WCW actually too. But man, it's amazing just to think about how Billy looks like he's, at his peak. Like he looks like he's, I think better than he's ever looked. And I've known him my whole fucking career.
Yeah. It's amazing how he looks.
Since I moved down to Florida. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, I like it a lot. I was a huge mark for Billy Gunn as a kid too. Like when he did the one Billy Gunn after Mr. Ass and all that stuff, I was big time mark for Billy Gunn.
Mm-hmm.
Maddie also.
It's funny watching him interact. By the way, with Jesse Jane.
Yeah. Oh, it's so funny. They're fucking hilarious together. Yeah. They're like an old couple together. That's what it feels like. They're going back and forth. Maddie, RVD versus Steven Seagal. What's the finish to that? RVD versus...
I'll tell you what. If I had to take some of his fucking throws or whatever, I'd be pissed because he looks stiff as fuck, and he'll take the guys and they're running at him, just feeding clotheslines,
Yeah.
He makes it into like a ridge hand with a back tap, and a little, but whoosh, next time guys run at him, whoosh, whoosh. He takes another guy, wraps his arm around, fucking bends his wrist. The guy's tapping out. He don't give a fuck. Yeah. He acts like the guy didn't even tap and holds him for another fucking like 12 seconds. And just like, and the guy's like, these Japanese, torturing these Japanese students. And and then finally like, and the guy will fall. But yeah, a lot of that shit he seems to be doing with his mind. He just like, when the people are just like
toppling over like dominoes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny because that's something that I'd seen, in his later years on YouTube and shit. And then I saw something, he was really, really young, and it ended up being the exact same stuff.
Wow. Yeah.
But I learned, it said on that video that he at least at the time, that he was the only American to go over to Japan and be an instructor of Aikido. So I never knew that, if that's true.
Wow. Yeah, I had no clue. I mean, I knew he had some martial arts background, but I didn't know it was like to that level,
People are feeding it, and he's just, and like some of them, like, man, they had to bump so many times over and over and over and over. Yeah.
Yeah. I have never seen a Steven Seagal movie in its entirety.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I liked his movies. I like that I was caught up into that whole action time period when all the movies were about action. Have you seen the guy that there's videos of this, like the guy that like thinks he can use his mind and I don't know, maybe kinetic energy, I guess, and to stop someone that's running at them like without actually touching them or whatever. And like he has these two students try it. He has this girl, like the guy's like running at her, and like she tries it or whatever, and he fucking nails her and breaks her fucking nose, and they fall over. You never saw that?
Oh, I've never seen that.
I just think I can't believe these instructors are taking these people's money.
Yeah, what the fuck? And why are the people giving them money? Like,
because they want to believe.
Yeah. Tom V, thanks for the Canadian, almost $3, eh? He says, split with the wife. She's toxic and gaslit. He got gaslit by her. Any feel good? Any advice?
Yeah. It sounds like eventually you're gonna be very grateful that this happened, because you already said she's toxic, and we know the type of people that gaslight and that fucking try to lie to cover up their own feelings about themselves. And it's really way better not being with people like that when you have a choice. And it's not easy getting out of relationships. It's a lot more easy and comfortable to just do nothing, to be complacent, and just have a shitty relationship that neither one of you cares about for whatever reason. And if that's anyone listening, then I'm not shitting on what works for you. But as far as advice here, man, I am like, I fought like hard to try to keep my marriage going, because I looked at it as being a failure, which maybe you did too, as far as like splitting goes. So I really had no choice, like there was no way that I could make that bitch stay. But in hindsight, having so much time now and seeing the bigger picture, because you never are able to see the whole picture. You can only see up till now. And as time goes on, you're always able to see a bigger picture. I'm so thankful, I don't even care that she was fucking the maintenance guy. I'm glad. Like, I want to thank him for fucking taking that toxic, hateful bitch away from me. And really, I can't imagine her being any other way than the way she was with me. But maybe she is. Maybe she's with someone who's right for her. We certainly should not have been with each other. We're two way different people that find happiness in complete different ways, and our relationship sucked. And maybe it's not like that, although I'm pretty sure it is, whoever she's going to be with, because I can't imagine her not being miserable. But at the same time, I don't give a fuck. I really don't. I don't ever need to see her again. And I was married for 12 years, something like that, maybe even longer. I don't know how long you were married with, but I'm going to say congratulations. And right now, life has been like so rewarding. It's just an abundance of love and good things happening, which was never achievable being with the wrong person. It wasn't. So I wish that upon you. I hope that you're able to find, and don't be in a hurry to find it. Don't be in a hurry to do anything. You know what I mean? But just someday you'll be able to be thankful if you're not able to ride that horse all the way right now, because you're going to have mixed feelings. If you're depressed at all, that fucks everything up. All emotions fuck things up. But truth is, sounds like you really did yourself a favor, and it's never too late, because all we all have is from this point on for the rest of our lives. So congratulations.
Yeah, I agree. And even the fact, like Rob pointed out already, that you said she's toxic, that's a good way to get an indication. All right, I should be happy I'm away from this person. Now, like, you're going to have some feelings, like you're going to get some sentimental feelings and all that stuff, obviously. But keep that in perspective. I mean, I've had loved ones, not relationships, like romantic relationships, but I've had loved ones that are toxic, and I've literally had to cut out of my life because
Like mannequins, because of the poly foam that they're made from is toxic.
oh
Never
yeah,
mind.
exactly
Never.
like that. Yeah, feel happy about it, Tom. Absolutely, and power through it. You'll get through it, and you'll find the right person for you at some point, no doubt about it. Richie, thanks for the $5 here. Yo, RVD, love you, bro. Gotta ask, what was your all-time favorite match you've been in?
The match with John Cena, because I was fighting for ECW and for, everything that I loved about the business. And I was fighting against a lot of stuff that I didn't love about the business. That's kind of what he stood for. That's the way the crowd saw it. So it was the vindictive one night out of my career moment that was my crowning moment, but also my favorite.
Yeah, that's always a good choice too. And you put it in a great way to showcase it too. Yeah, because it's like ECW versus what you didn't like about the modern wrestling product too.
Same with the fans. They all those fans agreed. We all had the same views. That was awesome. The crowd was great.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Maddie, this is his last super chat we got here. Is there ever a chance to get Jean-Claude Van Damme on the show? Boy, that'd be something. That would be something.
Not that I know of.
No, I could try, but I don't know if times line up, all that kind of stuff. It might be pretty difficult, but could try to throw out the threads. I can do some digging and try to find his contacts. I've done it before with the Fonz, not Fonzie, but with the Fonz.
I ain't got his number, you know what I mean? And so that'd be awesome. I'd love to.
Yeah. Real quick, Rob, what did you think about did you hear about Sami Zayn winning the WWE Championship?
I did.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. He only held it for 9 days. CM Punk just won it back on Raw. But it was pretty fun because he was having a great time with the title. And all I could think about, too, is how he'd keep honoring Sabu in a lot of his matches and stuff like that.
So he already had it for 9 days? Everyone's talking about it like it just happened.
Yeah, he only had it for 9 days. So he won it at Night of Champions in Saudi Arabia. And then 9 days later on Raw, this past Monday, he lost it to CM Punk.
Who held it longer, Sami Zayn or RVD?
Oh, you did.
How long did I have it for?
I think you held it longer than that, right?
I think it was only a couple of weeks at best.
RVD WWE Championship reign.
Alexa knows. Could save your fingers.
What would you like to know?
20. Oh, I know what it is, Rob.
Damn WWE champion.
Rob Van Dam was the WWE champion for 1 day on June 11th, 2006.
1 day.
1 day? That's not true. Rob, according to AI on Google, you held it for 22 days. 2006, 22 days. I did have.
I don't know, but I want some pancakes.
I do too. I'm fucking hungry. I'm really fucking hungry. All right, well, let's close it out. We'll spin the wheel. And I have it all. Again, if you entered tonight, you will have the chance to win the sweet RVD card where he's wearing the band Japanese singlet. So that is up for grabs. RVD IOU. And then check this out. Runner-up, though, gets a sweet-looking Hulk Hogan card in the white trunks, nonetheless. Era of Excellence from Topps Chrome. So that's the runner-up here. So let's pull up the wheel. Make sure I get the screen share going. Share screen. Wheel of names. Boom. There it is. Let's see if we can see it there. That is not it. That's the guy from Bloodsport that Sabu is based off of. There it is. There we go. All right. I'm going to spin the wheel. This will be for the grand prize here, the RVD card. So let me make sure to shuffle the names a couple times. Boom, boom. And let's spin it. Boom. It spins, baby. Oh, I got to get that sound bite. That's right.
Yeah. And dude, look, it spins.
Dude, look. Oh, Frankie, look at you. 3-time winner.
Whoa.
Congrats. Boy, I just mailed out your cards earlier today, so you're going to get another batch coming. So congrats to you, Frankie. How about that? All right. We'll remove all your instances. Let's see who gets this Hulk Hogan card. Who will it be? It's the Hulkster brother. Oh my gosh. It's Maddie. Maddie.
You're a winner, Maddie.
Well, he wasn't lying because Maddie said, don't send my cards yet because I plan to win more. And so I didn't send them yet. So you got another one coming, Maddie. Good for you.
Save on postage.
Save on postage. All right. Well, this is
Frankie Trezo said, Dom, get Boss Rootin' on here. Just FYI, if you don't know, I did a TV show with Boss Rootin'. I think I might have talked about that on here. I don't know, but I love Boss. I love watching the videos that he does now, and he looks great. But it was a TV show on TNN before TNN stood for whatever the fuck it changed to, and it was still the Nashville Network when ECW first got on TNN. This was part of the fucking somehow. I don't know if anybody else did anything, but anyway, there was a show called 18 Wheels of Justice, and I was on that, and I was in a gang, and Boss Rootin' was the gang leader. Yeah.
Wow, that. Dang.
Cool dude. Yeah. In case you don't know, but I don't have his phone number. Boom. What was that? What else was I gonna say? Oh, I was gonna say something that I just read. What the fuck was it? I guess you know what? Before I open my mouth, I should learn to have something ready to come out of it. I saw something on here that inspired a response. Anyway, dude, yeah. What else are we? We did it was a fun show.
It was a real fun show. We covered a heck of a lot of ground on this one.
Yeah.
That we learned some new stuff about Sabu. Did a little history lesson. Learned about some new mob stories going down. So this was chock full of good stuff. So we'll have to do it again next week. Rob, anything else you want to say before we close on out?
Nope. Anything else can wait till next week. Next week, you're good to do it on Thursday?
Good to do it on Thursday. Yes.
All right.
So we'll be back Thursday.
Talking to someone about being on. In fact, he's already committed.
Former TNA. Oh no, current TNA.
Is he the champ?
I don't know if he's a champ right now. I don't think he is.
Okay.
He's a very notable name in Total Nonstop Action, in the history of Total Nonstop Action, nonetheless. So stay tuned for that. That's a little teaser for you. But in the meantime, take out the trash because it's trash night. RVD.
Thanks for the reminder. Yeah. All right, cool. All right, man. I have enjoyed our weekly get-togethers, everybody. We're like the Van Dam Social Club.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Van Dam. Peace out, hoes.
Peace out. Peace up. A-Town down, bitch.